Let's do that again. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. So this is last minute impromptu response to Miss Project Black Woman. Um, you know, I don't, link is in the description as usual. Her response to the Travis Kelsey situation um was short. Mr. Z response will not be. Um, but we're gonna give this a good faith effort try as a response. I know this is last minute, so I don't expect most of you to be up or to be in here as of yet. But we will, we'll record anyway. Um, to Miss Project Black Woman, I will say you're talking around it. You're speaking around much of the issue. So in the Black manosphere, we have this term called a myth of white womanhood, and it's women of color largely, but Black women wanting to be white women. But in actuality, what they're really seeking is to be upper middle class white women. Which the best way for them to do that is to be with a well off Black man, or just about in their mind any white man. But in reality, it's once again a well off white man, upper middle class and above white man. Now, why are we speaking this way right now? Project Black Woman um, speaks about the Travis Kelsey, Taylor Swift situation, and she speaks about how Black women are looking desperate and how Black women look like they're going out bad, et cetera, et cetera. And she speaks of how the society doesn't validate Black women, and Black men speak so negatively about Black women, and she's honest about the fact that this society is anti-Black, et cetera, et cetera. And how to expect a white man to validate you is just essentially insane. But once again, this idea that Black men aren't speaking positively about Black women, meanwhile Black men have made multiple songs and movies and just poems and etc speaking positively and speaking about how they adore Black women and how they love Black women and how they cherish Black women and how to do anything for Black women. And then from their mothers to their intimate loved ones to their daughters to you have Nas speaking about his daughter. You have Jay-Z with his song when Blue Ivy was first born. I mean, to the nth degree, but it's not enough. And Miss Project Black Woman, you want to know why? Because Black women aren't looking for a good man. They're looking for a white man. They're looking for the man. Uh-oh. You're speaking around it. All of you Black women who are covering this story are talking around it. The reason that Black women, mainly younger Black women, but Black women, are throwing a fit is because they thought they can use Travis Kelsey to throw in the faces of Black men and white women. It's the myth of white womanhood. It's not about having a man that shows the world how much he cares about you. It's having the man show the world how much he will kiss your dirty ass. White men. All of you are talking around it. You're acknowledging how desperate Black women look, how it's insane to expect a white man to put women of another race, particularly Black women in this anti-Black society, on a pedestal. Some of you are being honest about that, but what you're not being honest about is why Black women are speaking this way. They want to be upper middle class white women. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. They want to practice negative liberty like upper middle class white women. They want to be able to look down on others like upper middle class white women. This is a class project. Project Black Women, this is a class project. They want to be able to use proxy violence like upper middle class white women. They want to be able to practice conspicuous consumption like upper middle class white women. This is about being upper middle class and above white women. This is not about, men singing your high praises. This is about the man singing your high praises. When I say the man, obviously read white men. Travis Kelce was supposed to represent what black men aren't. All of these interracial relationships with black women and non-black men, particularly white men, are supposed to represent what black men aren't. Black men are colorist, sexist, misogynist, patriarchal, while also obviously not having the patriarchy, right? Colorist, featurist, texturist, anti-black women, abusers of children and women and black LGBTQ, haters of self, haters of black women, predators of little girls, secretly DL, right? Secretly gay, while also being hypermasculine to cover for the fact that they're secretly gay. White men are supposed to be everything that black men aren't. Travis Kelce in particular, in this case. That is why black women were so hung up on using him against, once again, black men. Black women were so hung up on using him against black men. And to throw him, obviously, in white women's faces. Look, we got one of your well-to-do brads. We got one of your fit, good-looking brads. And he's singing the high praises of black women. He recognizes and cherishes black women and our shape and our look and our demeanor, unlike these no good black men that don't know how to appreciate us and our glory and our godliness and our godhood. Miss Project Black Woman, let's not be obtuse. This is not about what black men haven't done. This is about, what white men haven't done. Put black women on a pedestal. Put black women over his own women. It's as if you understand it, but you can't bring yourself to say it. What this is about is black women being tired of being in white women's shadow. And it has nothing to do with what black men haven't done, except the fact that black men are not the ones who went around the planet, pillaged, raped, conquered, killed, to put about 20% of black women on a pedestal where about 20% of white women are. That's what black men haven't done. My apologies as a black man. It should have been us. You damn Africans on the continent of Africa. Why didn't you go to Europe, rape, pillage, conquer, kill? Why didn't you go to Asia? Why didn't you go to South America? Why didn't you go to the Caribbean to destroy the planet and remake the planet in your image so that about 20 to 25%, because it's not all white women, so about 20 to 25% of black women could look down their noses on everybody else in society and on this planet. So that about 20% of black women could call the cops on some random white man living his random ass regular life, and because she just wants to practice proxy violence, and because she's so pampered, she feels threatened by everything, that she could call the cops and potentially get a random white man killed, a random white boy killed, kind of like how white women can do it now. My apologies, Project Black Woman, that black men some 500 and 600 years ago didn't have the foresight to go rape and pillage and conquer the planet. My apologies. My ancestors give their deepest sorrows and apologies. Their sincerest apologies. Because that's what this is about. All of you black women, from Yanni to Chrissy to Paris Malone to Cynthia G, are not being honest. That's what this is about. As a matter of fact, every once in a while, Chrissy will actually say it. She'll allude to it. She'll suggest it. Same thing with Cynthia G. Every once in a while, they suggest it. Yanni pretty much said it once. That's what this is about. It's the myth of white womanhood. I didn't even plan on coming to y'all with a video this morning, but, I'm still, fishing around and looking up things about this subject. and I came across this video and it only has a few, a few views, but her channel is a bit smaller, just like mine's. And we got to dead this conversation about black men. They don't speak positively about us, and they make fun of our likeness and our physique and our phenotype, and they don't love us. And I understand the desperation. Yeah, it makes us look bad. It makes us look desperate, but I get it. We got to dead that conversation. This is not about what black men haven't done outside of raping and pillaging the planet for black women and their insatiable inferiority complex because they live in the same country, the same planet as white women. That's what this is about. Shout out to Sarge Willie Pete. You damn right, Sarge Willie Pete. They're mad that black men ain't ran a global race war. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Everything else is a bunch of hogwash. Black women wish they could do what Asian women are able to do right now, what East Asian women are able to do. You see East Asian women, they're with the men that earn the most in the country, and they say, yeah, that's cute, but we still want the white man because the white man is the man in America. So even though Asian men earn more, yeah, we'd rather be with the white man. And look at their interracial marriage rate, particularly for American-born Asian women. See, their Asian mothers are still kind of stuck with their Asian fathers, the immigrants, and maybe even some of the second gens. But many of those American-born Asian women are marrying outside of their race at a tune of 54%. 54% of American-born Asian women marry outside their race, almost exclusively to white men. Black women wish that was them. They wish they could leave black men behind. This is a women of color thing. Black women are just the loudest about it. This is a women of color thing. Because look at what happened when you put the microphone in front of Tila Tequila. Look at what happened when you put the microphone in front of Mindy Kaling. They say the same thing. Indian men, they didn't appreciate my look, and it was a white man that was the first one to compliment me. Mindy Kaling saying the same thing Uchechi off of the grapevine said. Because women of color seek white male validation. Project Black Woman. This is not about black men insulting black women. This is about black women seeking white male validation. Just like other women of color. Y'all are just the loudest about it as black women because you're the furthest away from getting it from white men. Now, once again, they'll have some bedroom fun with you. But that ring, that Heisman, that ring, that's showing the world that this is not just someone you're having sex with, or this is not even just your girlfriend. This is your wife. Right? That's a whole different conversation. Right? That's a different conversation. So, Miss Project Black Woman, yeah, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Let's not be obtuse. Black women all across the interwebs are saying what it is. They're seeking white male validation, first for the status, secondly, to be pampered, for the lifestyle. You can't escape it because unlike you and unlike Chrissy, these women don't have the coot to hide behind their words. They're straight up saying it. Look, the white man provides you with this and he'll do for you and he'll pamper you, which, by the way, the average white man just don't even got it to do it, but okay. But they're being very clear on why they're seeking to be in relationship with the white man. It's not even because they find him particularly physically attractive over non-black men. It's not particularly because of his personality or any of that. It's for the resources. It's for the status. It's to use him to symbolize someone's position in this society. And that's what it is for women in general. Y'all have a very neoliberal assessment of men and masculinity, which automatically puts white men on a pedestal. White men in particular. This is about putting white men in particular on a pedestal. His ex-girlfriend DM'd him. She pursued him. Right? We find out from what's her name? That was dating Buddy Rowe from Dawson Creek. She pursued him. She pursued him, one night stand, and she proposed. This is because black women are seeking white male validation. Right? Jodie Turner Smith. There we go. That's the name I was trying to recall. Jodie Turner Smith. Y'all have to be honest. For all you content creators, I told y'all the internet's gonna expose us all. More and more black women are just gonna come out and say it. Latinas are just gonna come out and say it. Asian women are just gonna come out and say it. Indigenous women, excuse me, are going to just come out and say it. We want to be upper middle class white women. We want the power and the prestige. We want the social power, the political power, and obviously the economic power of upper middle class white women and above. We are no longer in the place of a good man being good enough. We are now in the position to seek more than that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Except many of you content creators are speaking like this is a fight for black women to be able to eat. No. Tika Sumpter, another one. She's more famous than the dude. She's more notable than the dude. And y'all don't even want to admit half the time y'all marry, especially for you upperly mobile black women that keep on saying, oh, black men are not on my level. Y'all marrying white men that are not on your level. But he's not on your level economically, but that white skin and that white status in this white dominated society pays dividends, at least in your mind. So yeah, you could be more famous than him, Serena. You could be worth more than him, Serena. Right? You could be more famous than him. He could be a failed actor. Ain't that right, Lonnie Love? You could get your career off the ground for a decade. Y'all could not have children, and you'll still stay. Ain't that right? What's her face? The super tall comedian that is now in a relationship with a white woman. I say her name all the time. It slipped me right now. Project Black Women. This is not about what black men haven't done. This is not about black men not validating. First, okay, so we speak about, right? I love big butts, and I cannot lie. We talk about black women's shape. We talk shake that out. We talk about all of this. Black women's shape, their cute face, we talk about their natural skin tone. We talk about all of that. Take off the makeup. We like your natural skin tone. We talk about the dreadheads. We talk about your curls and your kinky hair and how much we love it. And then you say we're objectifying black women. Then we don't say anything. Then we're ignoring black women. What? Aisha Taylor, thank you. Thank you, Vash. Aisha Taylor. Right? No, this is about the white man. Y'all wish white men were the ones singing your high praises and rapping about your body and how much they love your shape and your curves. Because this is, once again, dear black men, this is not about you. This is not about you. This is not about what you've done or haven't done. Remember what Lawrence Smith Fields reposted. Just remember I tried with you coloreds. right? Look at all the black women who pretended like Ebony K. Williams wasn't with the white man before she went on her "You Negroes Are Not on My Level" tour. On the "You Negroes Not on My Level" tour, they act like she wasn't with the ballerific white man because it doesn't count anymore because she got kicked off of Mount Olympus. So Miss Project Black Woman, Yanni, Chrissy, Paris, all of you, yes, especially and particularly younger black women, they're going to continue to embarrass you because they didn't get the memo that they're supposed to insult black men, put white men on a pedestal, but don't look desperate while putting white men on a pedestal. Whatever weird balancing act y'all got going on over there. Right? Yeah, they're going to be loud, and yes, it's going to be cringy. And yes, they're going to look desperate. Desperate in front of Chris Evans, desperate in front of Travis Kelce, just desperate. And once again, why wouldn't they? Right? Why wouldn't they? Right? And Ken Seeing Red says they want black men to win a race war, but abort all the black soldiers. Ooh, ooh, uh-oh. Somebody doing some math. Quick math. What is it, 20 some odd million black children since what? 1970 something? Over 20 million black children? 24 million, something along those lines? Everybody like, oh God, the Latino community surpassed the black community. Yeah. Abortion much? Well, you know, you can't have all those black children, especially those black sons, if they're not gonna make black women, you know, upper middle class and above white women. That part. I guess black women were practicing abort black male babies before Cynthia G even thought to utter the words. Exactly. Exactly. And he did say that. I thought it too. 1973. Since 1973. Thank you, Biro. Hood rats, don't abortion your wombs. We need more warriors soon. Nas, one mic. Yep. So, you know, I just wanted to come to you guys with this morning. Um, it wasn't planned. I literally did this last minute. Like I saw the video last minute. I was like, oh yeah, oh I gotta respond to this. You know, while it's still hot, and it you know, perfect timing. I was getting off of work, perfect timing, perfect, right? And once again, Ken Seeing Red, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Oh, and the Cash App, that part too. And we cover this because Project Black Woman is acting obtuse. She's speaking about, you know, how negatively black women speak about black men, which you mean your weight. You mean, shout out to the roguish son. You mean that baller belly? Wait, if you think black men body shame, not just black women. Wait. If you think black men body shame, let's say that's what you're saying. Black men fat shame and body shame, right? What you think white men are on? And Latino men? And definitely Asian men. What you, especially white men and Asian men, they the ones with some money in this society, right? What you think they on? Oh wait, because they don't say it, because they see heavyset women as invisible, especially the type of white men and Asian men and Latino men y'all trying to go after, or the ones y'all brag about. Y'all will pretty much be with any one of them, but the ones y'all brag about, right? Because there's a whole lot of uber wealthy, ballerific white men with heavyset black women, right? They cherish the heavyset black woman in her body more than black men, right? Because black men are these, body shaming, fat shaming a-holes. Meanwhile, you know, white men that are upwardly mobile and that got their head on their shoulders and, you know, industrious, etc., they know how to look past all of that and they see the greatness in those black women, right? Yeah, that's it. Exactly, Indigo Flow. Excuse me. Indigo Flow says, name a more body positive demographic of men besides American black men. Some West Africans, possibly. That's it. Pretty much West Africans, black men in the Caribbean, some Afro Latinos, and black men in America. So pretty much black men. West African black men, Caribbean black men, Afro Latino black men, and black men in America. So black men. Who else? Right? Project Black Woman. This talk, this is what happens when like you you're in a vacuum, or you like in your bubble, and you just have these conversations with other black women, and you only seek out what other black women are saying. And I appreciate that you're admitting that this is an anti-black society and that these women sound delusional and insane as hell if they thought a white man was supposed to put them on a pedestal. I appreciate you for that. And in that actual little part of what you were saying, you weren't necessarily taking jabs, right, at black men, unlike Chrissy, who will say something like that, or not even say something like that, allude to something like that, while saying, unlike black men, these other men don't put, you know, other women on a pedestal. Unlike Chrissy, you didn't say that, or at least I don't remember you saying that. You could have, and I just don't recall. I did only watch your video once. I will watch it again, obviously. Indigo says, so West Africans and their descendants pretty much are the only ones that are this positive about women's bodies, particularly black women's bodies. Yes, pretty much, yeah. West Africans and their descendants. Yeah, pretty much, yes. And that's what Sir Anthony beat me to the punch. That's what I'm saying. Let them talk amongst themselves and mislead one another. Essentially. Right? And what's going on, Sir Anthony? It's been a while. Yes. And that's all it is. And you gotta know that these women aren't dumb. I say this all the time, and it's not Mr. Z just attempting to placate, or it's not me doing the sandwich method, right? No, I mean that these women aren't dumb. Chrissy isn't dumb, right? Miss Project Black Woman, only this one video I could tell, yeah, that's not a dumb sister. It doesn't matter when it comes to the topic of black women, intimacy, relationships, white women, black men, white men, all of that intelligence and education goes out the window. Once you start talking to black women about intimacy and what they think they're owed from men, and they start thinking about white women, and they blood start leaking out their ears as they start getting infuriated and they start feeling slighted by white women, white men, and black men, all of that education and intelligence goes out the window. Right? Let's see if we can do that right now. Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Let's see. And Wolf says, what does a brother have to do for a wrench? If we could. Oh, crap. Wait a minute. Okay. I pressed the wrong button here. And I'm hearing myself speak because Mr. Z is subscribed to so many things. I'm always getting notifications. Wait. And voila. Right? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So, we covered this today to say, well, pretty much that we have some educated black women, and I this reminds me of, once again, I brought it up, excuse me, multiple times. Pascal Robert reviewing the Will Smith Chris Rock debacle, the slap heard around the world or seen around the world, and him saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, seeing all of these black women who, are supposed to be anti-violent, and they're lefties, and they're this and they're that, and to see them pretty much encourage this slap from Will Smith to Chris Rock because black women's hair and black women feel so put upon, and it was just, he was just taken aback. And for a brother that is far more educated than Mr. Z and far more worldly, and I'm astonished that he's astonished, right? Because Pascal, you got to know that most black women don't mean none of that stuff they talking about once it comes time to start speaking about their likeness, their position in the society juxtaposed to white women. When it comes to speaking about black men and black women feeling unprotected by black men, namely because, once again, we ain't put them in the position of upper middle class white women. I'm shocked that you're shocked. You think these black women mean it, and they may mean it for everything else in life. Granted, okay, fine. Black women mean all of that, airy-fairy progressive stuff. They mean all of it. Anti-violence, anti-gun, right? They want you to use euphemisms for everything, and they softer language and non-binary and all of this, right? They mean all of that right up until it comes time. I would not be labeled all of it. They mean all of it right up until it comes time to speak about black women and black men and white men and white women. Obviously, you have the preferences and the exoticals, which are usually, non-white, non-black people, namely women of color, Asian women, Latina women, all the mixed women in between, the white, non-whites, Arabs, right? But all of that stuff that they might actually mean, they don't mean none of it when it comes time to speak about their position in this society and how they feel that they're treated by black men, and white women. Right? And that's all this is about. And from now on, we have to be a bit more honest about this. Dear Project Black Women, that's all. That's all. And I'm going to check out your channel and watch some of your other videos. There might be other responses coming. Right? But that's all. Cynthia G told you she tried to destroy the black community until it's made into what she think it should be. right? Chrissy told you, I'll decide, right? When you're deserving, she means black men, of some praise. Why? Once again, because black men haven't won a race war and made black women what about 20% of white women are in this country. And that's all it comes down to at the end of the day. That's what all of this talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift is about, and how black women feel salty about it. That's what all of this is about. Right? The same way black women acted when the white guy went to all 50 states and essentially dated all white women. Wait, why aren't we on the list? What about Variety? What about us? Right? What about us? So you're just going to go to all 50 states as a white man and essentially only date white women? We want to be seen and validated too. They're going to continue to look desperate because for the life of the black community, they refuse. The black community refuses to grapple with the fact that y'all raised a bunch of consumerist, materialistic, wannabe white women, black women. Y'all refuse to acknowledge that y'all raised a bunch of neoliberal ass black women. That these women are relationship mercenaries. The black community refuses to grapple with that. Y'all would critique black men up and down and flip everything up and down. And when black women say, essentially, we want black white dip, we want chocolate dip white patriarchs that are black, right? Chocolate dip white patriarchs. Y'all don't hear none of that. When black women say, yeah, we want white men to validate us, y'all don't hear none of that. When black women sound like some of the most consumerist, when black women essentially sound like Margaret Sanger, Margaret Sanger, yes, Mr. Z actually means that. That was a Freudian slip, but I meant it. But when black women sound like Margaret Thatcher, when black women sound like Milton Friedman, right? Y'all act like y'all don't hear it. So even Pascal, and I'm gonna review it, who had the professor on to speak about black women and in this kind of revolutionary space and et cetera, you start off, Pascal Robert, with speaking about the gender war discourse on the internet, the black gender war discourse on the internet. And then instantly, and this is what all of these people do on the left, they speak about it benignly on the surface, and then they instantly go into critiquing black men. Have you heard about the black gender war? Are you reading some of those comments? Yeah. So these black men, the Moynihan report. Wait, so ain't nobody saying nothing about what the black women are saying? Of course not. It's the same thing they did with Kevin Samuels. You see this a-hole Kevin Samuels and all his sexism and his colorism and his featureism and his texturism and him saying black women are built like land bikers and wait, so ain't nobody saying nothing about the black women that's calling into the show and boiling black men down to walking wallets? Y'all don't got nothing to say about that? Okay. The black women that are calling in and say, who wants to be with average anyway? Y'all don't got nothing to say about that? Y'all ain't never seen the clips of black women saying, protect, provide, and shut up? Y'all like, okay, nobody got nothing to say about that? All right. Nobody have anything to say about the black women that say, if I earn more than you, I will mistreat you? And yes, she said that verbatim? Oh, y'all don't got nothing to say about that? Okay. So y'all speak about this quote-unquote black gender war and the black gender discourse on the internet, and then instantly go in on black men, and nobody say nothing about the women. So it's easy to target, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, but the thousands of black women that called into his show and spoke about black men not being on their level, black men being losers, black men being deadbeat fathers, white men do it better. Nobody got anything to say about that? Okay, yeah, that's it. But it's a black gender war, a black gender conflict, the black gender discourse on the internet. Why don't y'all just say black men ain't ish and continue? At least the swirlers and the divestors, particularly divestors, got the ovaries to actually say it. Right? And Passport OG, thank you for the super chat. And Yin, thank you for the super chat. Right? And Kel, we're Boner. Funny if it's Boner. I'm just saying. Says, what's the end goal? Do you have any hope for the community at this point, Z? Knowing what you know, yes. Yes. It might be misplaced hope. I acknowledge that. But yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think the environment helps to bring this about. I think women's hypergamy is natural. But I think when you live in a white-dominated society, a capitalist society, a neoliberal capitalist society, where civics isn't really taught, as y'all can see, Texas and Florida, and soon the entire South, and then soon much of the states in the country, where we don't even speak about labor. What does labor get in a civics book in high school? What, a chapter? Not even. What, a paragraph in a chapter? Right? I think when that happens, you have what you have now. The ignorance is encouraged. Not understanding that men are made men. Not understanding that white men were made white men. I'm not talking about their phenotype. I'm talking about the political project of making white men men. Making middle class and working class white men men. Right? Yes, I do have hope. But I think we got to go through it first. Ooh. And that means some of us might end up with non-black women. Right? But I think we're living through a time of great education and a bunch of educated, ignorant people. Well, damn. Because the things that actually matter in life, your spouse, how you view the opposite sex, your relationships, both platonic and intimate, when it comes to that conversation, people just start sounding insane. And that's not exclusively a black woman thing. Right? So yes, I have, hope. And yes, whoever said Mr. Z is an optimist. Not necessarily, Caleb Smith, not necessarily. My lady would say the absolute opposite, actually. I'm pretty dark. Right? But on this, yeah, and not just for black people, I think the relationship between men and women is going through this because, yes, we're in a transition period, but I think it's going to be women that dismantle a bunch of this, to be honest with you, because they don't actually want to work. I'm telling black men to be steadfast in what you're saying and what you're doing and how you're advocating. But I do think that eventually it's going to be women. It's going to be on women. Because they don't actually want to do this heavy lifting. Right? To hell with what the feminists are saying. Women are not trying to put in no 50 and 60 hours of work or do what Mr. Z does. Women, they not trying to do this. Not even for the nice stuff. Women are not trying to do. Mr. Z is doing what, 74 hours a week? At one point, I was working every day. Now I got a couple of nice things to show for it, but they're not trying to do that. Oh, hell no. Right? So do I have hope? Yes. The environment will change and so will women. That's what my hope is in. Women in a vacuum changing? Oh, hell no. Black women in a vacuum changing? Oh, absolutely not. And Mr. Boner says, haha, what do you see that I can't see, Z? It's done. Black women tell us every day how they feel about us. What's there to talk about? That the one constant in life is change. And that black women are able to talk reckless now because of the environment. An environment that's always in flux. I guarantee you, you get another lockdown, barring there be a civil war. We're not even going to talk about that. But I guarantee you, you get another lockdown, and black women got to walk into them stores again and potentially be elbowed by a 6'2" diesel ass man, whether white, black, Latino, or otherwise. I guarantee you, they act right real quick. Let the lights go off right now. I guarantee you, they act together real quick. It's the environment that fosters this reckless talk. I'm not saying that the women change in a vacuum. I'm saying as the environment changes, they change. And I'm not saying that the circumstances necessarily have to be clear, right? To answer what you're saying, I'm not saying the circumstances necessarily have to be dystopian. What I'm saying is, as you see, we're living through an era where marriage is becoming a luxury good, right? Number two, women are going through it. Don't ever get construed. The government, the average black woman, I'm saying, it's not enough. They're going through it. They're throwing a temper tantrum. They want the lead man, white man, $60,000, $70,000 student loan debt, 40, 35, $100,000 loan debt. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It burns. They're feeling it. What I'm saying, as the environment changes, black women will change. And that environment can be as small as your son's turning your back on them for real, for real. And they could do all this airy fairy hope stuff about some mythical, magical, ballerific white man saving them as that. And remember, high-speed internet is not that old. As more and more stories come out of that's not really a thing, and more stories of passport bros and SYSBM happens, black women will get their mind right. They'll engage in same-sex loving relationships. They'll be the pass around for men in general, particularly well-to-do men. They'll get their mind right. Like Nameless says, that hive model can only last so long. We see it already now in the hood. They'll get their mind right. Oh, wow, Mr. Z is Borging. My apologies, everyone. Borging. I mean, I was giving y'all a. I'll give me. And we're back. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I am sorry about that. We're back. We're back. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. We are back. We are back. Everything in the world was going on just now. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, to Mr. Boner, hysterical. Um, Let me know if I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly. By the way, and like spell it out for me phonetically so I could actually say that correctly. Like we're in elementary school or something. Use your words, right? So yeah, no, I do think this is gonna change. I do. It doesn't necessarily have to be grim and dystopian for this environment to change. That is not what Mr. Z is saying, right? But you have to understand, like, we live in an advanced society, quote unquote, in an advanced society, and women are going to um move along with the environment. And if the environment dictates right now that they can be single and have, some modicum, excuse me, of stability, then women are going to take that. And not just black women, black women are the loudest. They are moving about, because of the environment more overtly than others. But white women and Latina women and Asian women are on the same kick. They're on the same kick. Bonner. Okay, Bonner. Okay, thank you, Sir Anthony. Right. Yeah, that's all that it is. It's not. Look, black men. This is not to discourage those of you that want to be married to still seek marriage, to still vet women, to still put them through their paces. Right. This is not about that. But if I'm with BGS and the lead attorney on this one, you could be the greatest man in the world. That doesn't mean you get a lifetime of marriage. I'm sorry to say we may not live in that world anymore because women in many respects may not necessarily need men to eat. It's just that it is what it is. I agree with them. If you get 10 years, 15 years, thank your lucky stars. And look, y'all already know Mr. Z and his situation with his lady. I don't like saying that. I don't like thinking that. And yes, I'm in love. But do I have that in the back of my mind? Hey, you never know. Yes. Does that stop me from doing anything that I want to do? No. Does that stop me from spending money on her? Absolutely not. But I know that that doesn't guarantee anything, right? I know that doesn't guarantee a lifetime of marriage. I know that. But what I do know is I'm going to still put it all on the line. That way, if and when it ends, I won't have any regrets. Well, maybe if I did this, and maybe if I said that, and maybe I spent too much. Maybe I didn't spend enough. I can't chastise the women for being risk averse and then tell the men, that we have to. No, look, it's all a gamble. Dear people, not just black people, not just black women, it's all a gamble. It's all a gamble, right? What they say, if you scared, go to church. It's all a gamble. None of this is guaranteed. Some of us will be lucky enough to get married. Some of us will be lucky enough to get married and have our marriage last a decade. Some of us will be lucky enough to and obviously luck and knowledge and your ability to communicate and her ability to communicate, etc., etc. Some of us will be lucky. Some of us, our partners will pass early, right? Some of us, we'll get a decade out of the marriage. Some of us will get a decade and a half. Some of us will get 2 decades. Some of us will get life, right? And then for some of us, our marriages will be a melt that won't even get to a year. All right. in Haitian culture, upap mem where how did the hell I'm trying to say Southern Creole. I can't even get the word cake out. Indigo, somebody help. Right? Batman, where you at? Where are you when I need you? But we have this saying in Creole, I'm gonna say it in English, where you don't even get to see the cake because some people they save their wedding cake in the fridge for a year. They don't eat it obviously, but they save it in the fridge for a year. Some of them don't even get to see the cake. That's how short-lived their marriage is. It's all a crapshoot, is what Mr. Z is saying. And shout out to Trell Bentley. Exactly, it's all a crapshoot. See, Better You says I was with her for 8 years. We married. He said I was with her for 8 years. We married and divorced in 18 months. That's a year and a half, right? Trell got 10.5 years before she died. Trell, you did better with your deceased wife. Rest in peace. You did better than brothers that thought they were gonna go all the way. The divorce happens in 5 years on average for black families, right? Black couples. Trell, you still won. You still won. Better You as a brother with a master's degree. He couldn't even get 5 years out the deal of marriage at least. It's all a crapshoot, everyone. It's all a big gamble. And what black women are saying is that they're not willing to gamble nothing with black men. They're over it, right? They're risk averse as hell when it comes to black men. White men, they're willing to risk everything. They'll bet the farm. They'll bet the farm. Meanwhile, only 4% of black women are married outside of the race. 4% of marriageable age black women are married outside of the race. Right? We try to say only 4% of black women have ever had sex interracially. Get out of here. Only 4% of black women have been in quote unquote situationships or relationships with non black men. Let's stop it. Right? Exactly. And Sean Bentley say, Upap mem genta soti leglis avel, right? Which means you don't even have time to get out the church with her. I think that's what you're trying to say. Right? But Mr. Z, definitely. Right? And y'all give Mr. Z 1 second, 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Oh wow. No, Bruce always said Cote Z. Like when you said Cote Z, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not. Yeah, okay. So wow, I don't know when that happened. I don't know how far back I got to go. Well, okay, so close it out, right? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, hit the Cash App, and et cetera, et cetera. Um, I cover this because black women like Project Black Women. When they get around the black elders, when they get around, and for those of you that don't know, Cote means where, so where Z, that's what Bruce Owen Wayne was saying. Um, wow, better you and out for 10 minutes? Holy crap. Do you know how much I've said? Wow, ever since you said talk amongst yourselves. Woo! Jeez. Oh crap. Y'all know how long ago that was? Wow. Okay, so let me read these super chats again. Okay. Wow. You know how much I've said in the past 10 minutes? Jeez. Okay, so Passport OG, thank you for the super chat in yen. I said something about that. Wow. I don't know if y'all heard that part. No placeholder says in the Caribbean we say poor soul hush. Indigo flow. Wow, I can't believe it. It says they want the exclusive right to criticize black men at their whim to play a game that's rigged in their favor. I said a bunch about that. Jesus Christ. Um, no placeholder. If they are regulated to return who wants them Z. Wow, I had a lot to say about that. Y'all might have, wow, jeez. Wow. 10 minutes. Do y'all know how much I said in 10 minutes? Jeez. Jeez. Oh man. That's 10 minutes of my life I will not get back. And I know I said some stuff. Y'all know Mr. Z when I be talking the tidbits, the fire ass tidbits that even sometimes I'm like, oh wow, I said that. That's gone now. Wow. Jeez. Bruce Owen Wayne, if it wasn't for you, right? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even known that I was muted this whole time. Yeah, I was getting breakfast in that was 10 minutes ago. I've been got my food. Sir Anthony, I definitely got to make a bloopers video. Being tongue tied, misspeaking, not being able to pronounce people's names, forgetting people's names, words and names I literally just used 5 seconds ago, not recalling them. Borderline dozing off on the stream. All of it. I've done all of it. Right? Cursing out other people while driving, while doing the stream. Pausing y'all to talk to Miss Z and be like, yes, babe, I'm doing a stream right now. Yes. Right? All of it. So on that note, everyone, I don't even want to go that just deflated me. The fact that I was talking for 10 minutes and y'all couldn't hear anything. Right? And I think I should have got the hint when who was it that said this? Where's the comment? Wait a minute. Well, I should have got it when Sir Anthony said every time I say talk. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. When Sir Anthony said every time I say talk amongst yourselves, he doesn't know what to say. I should have got it then, right? I should have got it also when Biro said Mr. Z should have generic interlude music just to keep us in the loop that he hasn't dropped off. And I read that comment when I saw it. That's why I highlighted it. Jeez. better uses. My first stream I was doing I was going in and didn't realize I didn't hit the button till the end, bro. Y'all forgot the first time I did a stream uh a real stream, live stream, I didn't set up my super chats. I think I was muted for the beginning. I didn't know how to and this is when I was using my lady's laptop. I didn't know how to share the stream, right? All of it. All it was just a bunch of foolishness. So yeah. And shout out to the brother the Raj Report for helping me walk through it. Yeah. Big Kev says keep going. Look, I'm y'all already know. Y'all know Mr. Z does 2 jobs, right? So yeah, let's just say I'm living life real reckless right now. We'll just say that. Right? Absolutely reckless right now. We'll just say that. So yeah. So on that note, we cover this because whenever this subject comes up, inevitably there are going to be women like Project Black Women who attempt to speak about this, but they're once, like I said earlier, they're not hitting on all cylinders. They're not. There's something they're missing, and what they're missing is that for many Black women, they want to be politically and socially white women, and that's their biggest gripe with Black men. Sean Bentley said, "Only 2 jobs, you lazy bum." I know, right? Right. And that's what women like Project Black Women miss. It's not about what Black men haven't done. It's not about Black men insulting Black women in their phenotype and their likeness, etc., etc. It's that for many Black women, they want to be politically and socially upper middle class and above white women. And until the Black community grapples with that, we will continue to have these type of situations we have now. Trelson, what kind of Haitian are you with only 2 jobs? I'm saying. What a bum. 73, 74 hours a week, plus a girlfriend, plus in-laws, plus my mom running errands up and down, right? Dealing with life, still have time to do boyfriend things, plus Forza's coming out, so you know I gotta make time for that. I'm about to sink a bunch of hours into that. What a lazy bum. Right? 2 jobs and a relationship? B-roll, that's all we saying. Black women want a life of leisure, that's all. Upper middle class and above white women. Really rich and elite white women, but some of them will be willing to settle for upper middle class and above white womanhood. That's all. That is all. Right? So, we'll pause right there. Exactly, vacabon. Exactly. Straight bum. Right? So yeah, y'all. If it wasn't for Batman, when he's in Cote Z, and I'm like, what you mean, where's Z? Wait a minute, I'm still muted for 10 minutes. Jeez. Y'all know how much I said in 10 minutes? Oh man. And yeah. So did y'all hear when Mr. Z was saying it's all a big gamble and all of that? Y'all didn't hear none of that? Wow. Yeah. Okay, all right. I got 10 minutes, y'all, at the most. I got 10 minutes to move out Dr. Thunder's way. And Dr. Thunder says, talking about how sex is a man's kryptonite and a toxic woman will exploit at 8:30 a.m. 10 minutes, yes. Okay. Y'all go check out Dr. Thunder after this stream. Oh, okay. John Joe said, yes, we call all of that. Yeah, we got the crapshoot. Okay. All right. And it's all a gamble. I meant it when I said it. Right. I meant it when I said it. You know, it is. It is. And if you and look, what they said is better to love and lost than to have never loved at all. I think that's debatable depending on the type of person you are, because what we're finding now is people can't really take rejection. And maybe this is something that I have to bring back into my lexicon. Um, this kind of proxy rejection, or like this soft rejection, or what did I used to call it? Vicarious rejection, right? Like black girls and women are feeling, and maybe this is what Project Black Women was speaking to, right? Which is this idea that no one's walking up to black women, or not really anyone is walking up to black women, tapping them on the shoulder and be like, "Oh, by the way, you know you're ugly, right? You're an ugly flat slob, and nobody wants you." No one's really doing that to black women, but black women are internalizing white supremacist beauty standards. Um, you could call it white European beauty standards if you want, but I think it's not just benign European beauty standards. I think they actively attack the look of other women, particularly dark skinned women, darker skinned women of various races. I don't think it's just no, because we run the world, the white woman is the beauty standard. No, 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 no. I think they purposely mock and make fun of women, particularly black women, when they have a bunch of pencil thin, right, white women on a cover of a magazine, and then they have Gabby Sidibe as the black equivalent of beauty, right? I think they're being funny, right? So that's why I call it the white racist beauty standard, right? But we covering this to kind of illustrate this point here, that it's not just black women looking for a man that loves them and cherishes them and then thinks that they're the most attractive woman on the planet, etc., etc. It's black women seeking validation from the man, which is once again the white man. And that's why the Travis Kelsey, Taylor Swift story, it's an affront to them. And so how black women are taking this is that the society is tapping them on the shoulder and saying, by the way, you're ugly and you're disgusting and your hair is kinky and nappy and your nose is wide and broad, and that's how they're internalizing it, even if no one is actually doing that, right? No one is actually doing that, but that's how they're taking how the society is treating them. But this was inevitable, especially when black women pretty much gave black men the middle finger and said, we're going to go do this feminist thing. What you thought was going to happen? Man, I really got to get with Dr. Thunder to have that conversation. It's not Dr. Thunder. Yes, Dr. Thunder, we actually do have to do a live stream too. But I got to get in. That's because Dr. Thunder's in the live stream. But I got to get with Army Ose Fringpong to have that conversation. And he's spoken to it a little bit about what it means to be a woman, right? Not just woman as your sex, but to be gendered as a woman, and how that was a bit fancy. And really, what you're speaking to is, like Mr. Z says, when you say woman, what many black women are really speaking to is upper middle class and above white womanhood. Now I know for many people it's just going to be white womanhood, which is standard issue middle class, but no, I'm when you hear them talk, what they're really speaking about is rich white womanhood. But I'll be kind to say upper middle class black women. I mean, excuse me, white womanhood, to not make them sound as delusional as they actually do sound. Right? Dr. Thunder said that's BS. They just want Mr. Cartwright as an option. I don't feel bad for them at all. I don't feel bad for them. Oh no. It's sad that the black community got to go through it because, a good chunk of us are delusional as absolute hell, black women, right? That's the sad part. But outside of that, where's the other comment Miss Dr. Thunder said I thought was hysterical? Here I go. Better not to love at all than to get divorced, raped, and alienated from your kids. Here, here. Here, here. I agree with that 100%. You'll get no disagreement from me on that one. And Sir Anthony says, Army spits fire. He does. He does. And I oh yeah, I definitely got to get with Green Gorilla too. I would love to be on a panel with Green Gorilla and Army Osei Frimpong. I'll be like a kid in front of a forest fire listening to Grandpa give stories. I'm telling you. I said forest fire. In front of the fireplace. I said forest fire. Ha! What am I thinking about? People starting fires in California? Oops. Anyway, I would definitely be a kid in front of the fireplace, listen to Grandpa give stories, because I would love to hear these two brothers talk amongst themselves, right, about the black gender conflict and black people, black men, black women, etc., history, and yeah, that would be, oh man, right. So yeah, ending out, let's kind of move fireside chats. Exactly, Indigo. Fireside chats with Green Gorilla and Army, right? Or the Funky Academic, as he's also known. Right? Green Gorilla and the Funky Academic, fireside chats. Gather around, children. Right? So on that note, everyone, we'll end out here. This is Mr. Z's super long-winded roundabout, and talk about roundabout answers, right? Roundabout way of covering Project Black Woman and her response to Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, and black women responding to a white man being a white man and dating a white woman, and black women looking real desperate, right? So, and thank you for the super sticker, Sir Anthony, right? Yeah. Detroit. Detroit's in tasked abusive sissies an historian. Yawn! Yeah. Trell, you better start your channel. Blazing with Trell. Right. Indigo says the lack of self-awareness is crazy. Man, look. Yeah. And that's for them that are truly not self-aware. I think a lot of this is fronting. I think they're trolling, they're fronting, they're doing their best rendition of like edgelord, like 12-year-old white boy edgelording, right? Like I think it's a bunch of that. They're just talking. And if you listen to them long enough, then every once in a while they'll tell you the truth about something, or you can glean something important from what they're saying that can help you better your life and be more discerning. But outside of that, man, yawn. Right. And on that note, it's 8:29 over here on the East Coast. So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content like Dr. Thunder, who's about to stream in literally a minute. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I think for some, I'm not gonna say all though, Dr. Thunder. I think for some they truly are, they lack self-awareness, like for real. But Dr. Thunder says they're aware, they're just greedy. I agree with that. I agree with that for some. I agree with that. Right? And on that note, y'all go check out Dr. Thunder, right? Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, please. So y'all don't sound like these people, right? So we can have a worldly understanding of what's going on, well, around the world, and definitely in the Black community amongst Black people. Because guess what, Black people? You can't escape Black people. I know y'all trying. Dear Black woman, what empowerment sphere? I know y'all trying. And it's failing because it was never meant to be. I don't want to be black no more. I definitely don't want to be associated with this lowly ass black man. And on that note, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. All right, Mr. Z out. All right, everyone.